Good morning, student. I am your Stephen sir from ICRA English Medium. Today I am going to teach you subject English Standard 9th, and the book will be Movement, chapter number 6, Weather the Storm in Yersama. So I'll give you summary of this chapter, so please pay attention. So about the poet Harsh Mandir is an activist and author of several books including Fractured Freedom, Chronicle from Indians Margins. He is the director of Center for Equity Studies, a research organization based in New Delhi, a social activist who works with survivors of mass violence and hunger, as well as a homeless person and street children. So, introduction of this chapter: Weather the Storm in Edsama by Harsh Mandir is based on a true story of the adventure of a teenager. Prashant was marooned on the roof of a house for 2 nights following the dreadful storm that hit Orissa. Now, Odisha. To 27th October 1999, the storm had killed thousands of people and devastated hundreds of villages. Prashant showed extraordinary courage at the face of the great natural calamity. He saved his own life and came in the forefront to lead the disaster management in his village. On 27th October 1999, Prashant, a young boy of 19, went to meet his friend in Ersama, a small town in coastal Odisha. Osama was some 18 kilometers away from his village. In the evening, weather suddenly changed and soon there occurred a strong storm with devastating winds. It was later termed as super cyclone. The wind velocity was 350 km per hour. Prashant had never witnessed such a beating Messing storm. The storm was followed by heavy and incessant rain, which washed away several houses and people. The angry waiters swirled into his friend's house neck deep, so Prashant and his friend's family took shelter on the rooftop where they spelled 2 nights in the same position. They frozen in the cold and continued rain. Prashant could see in the grey light of the early morning the destruction caused by the super cyclone. There was a water everywhere in which standing some fractured cement houses in a few places, bloated animal carcasses and human corpses floated in every direction. Even huge trees had fallen here and there. Prashant was worried about his family, but he was helpless. Two, day, 2 days later, the rail stopped and the rail waters slowly began to recede. Then Prashant decided to go to his village and see his family. He took a long, sturdy stick and then started all the difficult journey to his village through the swollen flood water. At places, the water was waist deep, which slowed his journey. At several points, he lost the road and had to swim. On the way, he came across many human bodies and carcasses of dogs, goats, and cattle, but he could barely see a house standing while passing through the village. Eventually, Prashant reached his village, Kalikuda. He was depressed to see the widespread destruction everywhere. He wanted to see his family member but found them nowhere, so he went to the Red Cross shelter for them. Fortunately, his family was alive. He thanked God for this. And Prashant was upset to see the miserable condition of the cyclone affected people in the shelter. There was a big crowd there. They had nothing to eat except grilled coconut. There was too much filth everywhere. Prashant could not be the silent spectator. He decided to do something for the survivor. First, he made agreement for their food with the help of some youth and elders. Then he organized a team of youth volunteers to clean the shelter of filth, urine, vomit, and floating carcasses, and to tend to the wounds and fractures of the valley who had been injured. On the fifth day, a military helicopter dropped some food parcels but did not return. Prashant and others devised a plan to attract the attention of the helicopter. They deputed children to lie around the shelter with the empty utensils on their stomachs to communicate to the passing helicopter that they were hungry. The the plan was successful, and after that, the helicopter started dropping food packets and other basic needs. Prashant rehabilitation work went on ceaselessly. He brought the orphaned child together and put up a polythene sheet shelter for them. He mobilized, mobilized man and woman to look after them with food and materials. He also persuaded the woman he also persuaded the woman to start working in the food for work program started by an NGO, and for the children he organized sports events. Later orphans were restless in new foster families made up of childless widows and children without adult care. Thus, Prasad became the survivor of thousands of cyclone affected people. His selfless service for the mankind is praiseworthy. So, this was the explanation of this chapter. Thank you so much.